Hello, my friend. Today, I am going to tell you the story of one of the most secretive, powerful, and controversial leaders in the world. A man whose childhood was hidden, whose rise to power shocked the outside world, and whose decisions can still make governments across the globe pay attention. His name is Kim Jong Un, the leader of North Korea. For years, the world has seen the missiles, the military parades, and the carefully controlled images. But behind them is a story filled with mystery, family power, fear, ambition, and questions that still have no clear answers. How did a young man, barely known outside his own country, inherit an entire nation before the age of 30? And how did he survive when so many believed he would fail? Now, let's begin. Kim Jong Un was born into a family unlike almost any other in the world. His grandfather, Kim Il-sung, founded North Korea. His father, Kim Jong-il, later inherited control of the country. From the moment Kim Jong-un was born, politics, secrecy, and power surrounded his life. He was not simply the son of an important man. He belonged to a dynasty that had already ruled North Korea for 2 generations. Even the year Kim Jong-un was born is surrounded by uncertainty. Most outside sources place his birth in the early 1980s, but the exact year has never been completely clear. Some reports say 1982. Others say 1983 or 1984. That may sound like a small detail, but it reveals something important about the world Kim grew up in. His life was protected by secrecy from the very beginning. Information about his childhood, his education, and even basic facts about his identity were carefully hidden from outsiders. For most people, a birth date is ordinary. For Kim Jong-un, even that became part of the mystery. And that secrecy would follow him for the rest of his life. Kim Jong-un did not grow up like most children in North Korea. He was surrounded by privilege, protection, and access to things ordinary families could never imagine. But that comfort came with isolation. His world was tightly controlled. His family protected his identity, limited what outsiders could know, and kept much of his childhood hidden. He had comfort and security, but very little freedom to simply be an ordinary child. Then came one of the strangest chapters of Kim Jong-un's childhood. Far from North Korea, he is believed to have spent several years studying near Bern, Switzerland, using a different identity. To the students around him, he did not appear to be the future ruler of a secretive nuclear state. He was remembered as a quiet boy who loved basketball, especially the NBA. He followed famous players, played sports, and experienced a world very different from the one waiting for him back home. For a short time, Kim Jong-un saw life outside North Korea with his own eyes. But one question remains impossible to answer. What did those years in Europe teach him? And how much did they shape the leader he later became? There was a strange contradiction in Kim Jong-un's early life. He had seen part of the outside world, its schools, its sports, its freedom, and its everyday life. Then he returned to North Korea, one of the most isolated countries on Earth. He had briefly experienced a very different kind of society. Then he returned to a country where information, movement, and public life were tightly controlled. The contrast could hardly have been greater, and that contrast makes the leader he later became even more fascinating. Kim Jong Un was not always the obvious choice to inherit power. His father, Kim Jong Il, had several children, and for years, outsiders could only guess who might one day lead North Korea. At different moments, attention fell on other members of the family, especially Kim Jong-nam, Kim Jong-un's older half-brother. That made the succession deeply uncertain. Kim Jong-un was young, largely unknown, and had spent much of his life away from public view. Few people outside the inner circle understood why he was being prepared for something so enormous. But inside the family, the balance was already shifting, and soon, the quiet son, who had barely appeared in public, would be pushed toward the most powerful position in the country. Then everything began to move faster. By the late 2000s, Kim Jong-il's health had become a serious concern. Reports suggested that he had suffered a stroke, raising an urgent question inside North Korea. Who would take over if he died? Suddenly, the issue of succession could no longer remain hidden. Kim Jong-un was still young and largely unknown. But behind closed doors, preparations for his rise were beginning. Then, in 2010, the hidden successor finally stepped into the light. Kim Jong-un suddenly stepped into public view. He was given senior positions in the ruling party and the military, making it clear that he was no longer just another member of the Kim family. He was being prepared for something much bigger. For people outside North Korea, the change was dramatic. A young man who had spent most of his life hidden from the world was now standing beside his father at major political events. His face appeared in state media. His name began to spread across the world. The message was becoming impossible to ignore. Kim Jong-il had chosen his successor, and that successor was Kim Jong-un. Then, in December 2011, everything changed. Kim Jong-il died suddenly, and the question of succession was no longer theoretical. Kim Jong-un, still in his late 20s, was pushed into the center of power. He inherited the military, the ruling party, and an entire country built around his family. To the outside world, he seemed young and inexperienced. But North Korea had already begun calling him its new leader. Almost immediately, one question spread across the world. Could Kim Jong-un actually survive in power? He was young. He had little public experience, and around him stood generals, party officials, and powerful insiders who had spent decades inside the system. To many outside observers, he looked vulnerable. But North Korea was not a normal political system, and Kim was not stepping into power alone. He inherited a structure built by his grandfather and father, a structure designed to protect the ruling family. Still, inheriting power was one thing. Keeping it was another. If Kim wanted to remain in control, he would have to prove that age did not make him weak. And very soon, he began doing exactly that. Kim Jong-un moved quickly to prove that he was in control. One of the clearest signs came in 2013, when his uncle, Jang Song-thaek, once considered one of the most powerful men in North Korea, was removed from his positions and later executed. The message was unmistakable. No family connection, military rank, or political influence could protect anyone who threatened the new leader's authority. Then came an even darker chapter inside the Kim family. In February 2017, Kim Jong Un's older half-brother, Kim Jong Nam, was attacked at Kuala Lumpur International Airport in Malaysia. Two women approached him and smeared a substance on his face. Within a short time, he became seriously ill and died. Investigators later identified the substance as VX, an extremely dangerous nerve agent. The assassination shocked the world. Kim Jong Nam had lived outside North Korea for years and was seen as distant from the country's leadership. Malaysia accused North Korean nationals of involvement, while Pyongyang denied responsibility. To this day, the killing remains surrounded by controversy. But it sent a chilling message. Even far from North Korea, the struggle surrounding the Kim family could still reach across borders. Before we continue, tell me this. Do you think the world underestimated Kim Jong Un because of his age? Yes or no? Write your answer in the comments. Under Kim Jong Un, North Korea pushed its nuclear and missile programs forward at remarkable speed. New tests showed longer ranges, stronger weapons, and growing technical ambition. For Kim, these weapons were more than military tools. They became a symbol of survival, power, and independence. Each launch sent the same message to the outside world. North Korea wanted to be taken seriously, and Kim Jong Un was determined to make that impossible to ignore. By 2017, tensions had reached a dangerous new level. North Korea tested increasingly powerful missiles, including weapons designed to travel much farther than before. It also carried out its sixth nuclear test. At the same time, Kim Jong Un and U.S. President Donald Trump exchanged threats in public, using language that made the world fear the crisis could spiral into war. For months, every missile launch seemed to raise the stakes. Military forces were watching, governments were preparing, and millions of people wondered how far either side was willing to go. Kim Jong Un had achieved something few expected from such a young leader. He had forced the world's most powerful country to watch his every move, but the next surprise was even bigger. Then, almost without warning, the tone changed. After months of threats and missile tests, Kim Jong Un suddenly turned toward diplomacy. In 2018, he met South Korean President Moon Jae-in and crossed the border for a historic summit. The images surprised the world. A leader associated with nuclear tension was now smiling, shaking hands, and speaking about peace. But one question remained. Was this a real turning point, or simply another strategic move? Then came a moment that once seemed almost impossible. In June 2018, Kim Jong Un traveled to Singapore to meet U.S. President Donald Trump. It was the first time a sitting American president had ever met a North Korean leader. The images were extraordinary. Two men who had traded threats only months earlier were now walking side by side, shaking hands, and speaking about a new relationship. For Kim, the summit was more than diplomacy. It placed him on the same stage as the leader of the United States and showed the world that North Korea could no longer be ignored. For a brief moment, it seemed history might be changing. But the hardest question still remained. Could words and handshakes actually lead to nuclear disarmament? But the hope did not last. In February 2019, Kim Jong Un and Donald Trump met again, this time in Hanoi, Vietnam. The world expected progress on North Korea's nuclear program. Instead, the summit ended without an agreement. The two leaders walked away with no major deal. For Kim, it was a reminder that dramatic meetings were not enough. The path from confrontation to peace was far more difficult than a handshake. After the Hanoi summit failed, the brief period of optimism began to fade. Talks with the United States slowed, and North Korea returned its attention to weapons development. Under Kim Jong Un, the country continued testing new missiles, improving their range, speed, and ability to avoid detection. Nuclear weapons remained at the center of his national strategy. To Kim, these weapons were not simply tools of war. They were insurance, a way to discourage attack, strengthen his position in negotiations, and prove that North Korea could not be pressured easily. The message was clear. Diplomacy could come and go, but military power would remain. And from that point on, Kim Jong Un showed no sign of giving it up. Behind the missiles and military parades lies another side of North Korea. Information is tightly controlled. Travel is heavily restricted. Independent media does not operate freely, and criticism of the leadership can bring severe consequences. Human rights investigators have documented prison camps, forced labor, and harsh punishment. For ordinary citizens, daily life exists under constant rules and surveillance. But controlling people is only one part of maintaining power. In North Korea, controlling what people see, especially how they see their leader, can be just as important. Across North Korea, his face appears constantly in state media. He is shown visiting factories, schools, farms, military bases, and missile launches, always surrounded by officials taking notes and crowds showing loyalty. These scenes are carefully controlled. They present Kim not simply as a political leader, but as the central figure of the nation. This system did not begin with him. His grandfather and father were also surrounded by intense state propaganda and personality cults. But Kim Jong Un has continued that tradition in his own style. In a country where information is tightly controlled, controlling the image of the leader also means controlling how power itself is seen. And while Kim's public image is carefully shown to millions, his private world is almost the opposite. He is married to Ri Sol-ju, who has appeared beside him at major public events, but very little is officially known about their family. Even the number of their children has never been fully confirmed by North Korea. This secrecy has created endless speculation. But one thing is clear. Kim carefully separates his public image from his private world. Another important figure was rising beside Kim Jong Un. His younger sister, Kim Yo-jong, gradually became one of the most visible members of North Korea's ruling family. She appeared at major political events, accompanied her brother during diplomatic meetings, and delivered statements in language that was often sharp and direct. Because of her family connection and public role, outside observers began to wonder how much influence she truly held behind the scenes. Some saw her as one of Kim Jong Un's most trusted allies. Others even questioned whether she could someday play a larger role in the country's leadership. But North Korea reveals very little about its inner power structure. So one mystery remains. How powerful is Kim Yo-jong when the cameras are gone? That secrecy extends even to something as personal as Kim Jong Un's health. Whenever he disappears from public view for days or weeks, rumors quickly spread about illness, surgery, or even death. Some reports have gone much further, suggesting body doubles or secret medical emergencies. But many of these claims remain unverified. The truth is simpler and more intriguing. In North Korea, even the health of its leader can become a state secret. As tensions with the United States and South Korea continued, Kim Jong Un began looking more closely toward another powerful partner, Russia. The relationship between North Korea and Moscow grew noticeably warmer. Kim met Russian President Vladimir Putin, while the two countries expanded political, military, and economic cooperation. For Kim, Russia offered something extremely valuable, a major partner willing to challenge the same Western pressure that North Korea had faced for years. This relationship also gave Pyongyang more room to maneuver internationally. North Korea was still isolated from much of the world, but it was no longer standing completely alone. And as Kim strengthened ties with Moscow, a new question emerged. Could this partnership change the balance of power around the Korean peninsula? Then a new face began appearing beside Kim Jong Un, and immediately caught the world's attention. Kim Jong Un started appearing more often with his young daughter at military events and missile launches. Her name has not been officially confirmed, but outside observers believe she may be Kim Joo-a. Her growing public presence quickly raised an obvious question. Why was Kim showing her to the world? Was he preparing the next generation of the family? For now, no successor has been officially announced, but her appearances have made the future of the Kim dynasty even more intriguing. For years, outsiders asked one question about Kim Jong Un. Could such a young and inexperienced leader survive? More than a decade later, that question has changed. He has removed powerful rivals, expanded North Korea's nuclear arsenal, faced international sanctions, met world leaders, and remained firmly in control. But surviving in power created a new question. Will his daughter become the fourth generation of the Kim family to lead North Korea? Could his sister, Kim Yo-jong, play a larger role? Or could the system face a struggle for power that no outsider can predict? Kim Jong Un once entered history as an uncertain successor. Today, the biggest uncertainty is no longer whether he can hold power. It is who will inherit it after him. So tell me in the comments, what surprised you most? His years in Switzerland, his rise to power, or the mystery of who may follow him? And if you enjoyed this story, like the video, subscribe to Woven English, and join us for the next one.